appreciate you joining us in today. We had a long night last night, a very scary night, and I am going to restream the 2 live streams that I did last night in the rescue of this dog. I combined them, I put up some graphics, and I really hope that you will take a moment to review if you're on your lunch break or if you're just taking a chill time here. Really watch what's going on here, because this is one of the most dangerous situations, putting your dog on a free pet site because you're in a desperate situation and you're trying to find a new home for it, whether it's because you have to move suddenly or you get transferred or you have a bite incident and you're worried about the dog staying in the home. Just watch, listen, and think about all of the consequences that can happen. I'm going to roll. Hang tight for 1 second. All right, look what we've got. Charity's driving Miss Daisy again.
Hi.
And this is Louise. And Louise was adopted from Kentucky Humane Society when she was a puppy. And now she's 7 years, 8 months, according to her microchip. She's a very sweet girl. She had a couple of incidents with small children that required another plan, and her family rehomed her, but they unfortunately found a lovely couple on Facebook. No shit. That happened to be Gary and Susanna Wall, who are the biggest damn dog flippers in the town and take advantage of everybody, and then they sell the dogs into the unhoused community. So tonight, Summer Dickerson is out doing outreach, and she calls me and she goes, "You're not going to believe this. I've got another dog with another chip." And I'm like, wow, 2 in a row. Because she's the one who started the whole Richie Gypsy retrieval the other day with her dog that she found. So I called in the microchip. The chip was outdated, but still we managed to find the owners who are on their way to pick up the dog, which is a blessing. But when I got there, the dog was lying on the sidewalk with an unhoused citizen who was taking care of her and had her on this little leash, which Summer had provided to him. He had been handed the dog by a woman, just a random woman. And it's only been a few days since this happened. So undoubtedly it was our friends, the Walls, who have a tendency to go downtown and sell dogs into the houseless community or for other nefarious purposes. So I'm going to be calling LMAS because Lieutenant Hannah Forner has a personal interest in keeping track of these people's activities. Dogs that are sold and given away and swapped through these people are used for currency. They're used to buy drugs. They're used to get whatever people need to survive on the streets. But unfortunately, that's often by means that you don't even want to hear about. So this is a very sweet dog. And thank God the family is going to take her back and hopefully be able to separate the kids from the dog because she's had a couple of little bite incidents. You're a good girl, though. You're very sweet. You give a lot of kisses, too. And you've been kissing Charity on your whole drive. She's wearing a shitty, arms cut out T-shirt. And she had no collar and no anything on her except the leash that Summer put on her, thank God. So here they come. I'm going to hop off here, but just the good news is she's safe. She's been recovered. She's not going to disappear into the bowels of Louisville. And God willing, she'll stay home. Here she's seeing her mommy right now. There's your mama. There's your mama. All right, well, the really good news is that Hannah's got a dog back. And Hannah, I just gave you the opportunity to share your story because this dog had to be rehomed. And unfortunately, we can't trust a lot of the people that we rehome dogs to. And particularly these people, because they are the absolute worst of the worst dog flippers in the city of Louisville. And I just read through the string of text messages that you guys had with the bullshit that this woman, Suzanne Wall, tried to use to get you to give her the dog. And she was really successful. She got all kinds of things out of you. She got food out of you. She got, probably her dog bowls, everything. And now she's wearing a kid's torn T-shirt, and she's filthy. And thank God Summer Dickerson saw her on her outreach. Tonight is Wednesday night, the Forgotten Louisville outreach. And she scanned her for a chip, and by God, the chip came up. She called me. I called it in, and we found the family who had tried to do the right thing. They couldn't take her back to where they had adopted her from because she had had a couple of bite incidents with the kids. So just hold this with one hand.
Okay.
And just share your story with me, because this is a really good cautionary tale.
Okay. So this is my dog, Louise.
Mm-hmm.
She's a beautiful dog. I've had her since she was a little tiny puppy. Recently, there were a couple incidents at home with the kids where Louise snapped, and it caused me to have some concern with Louise being in the house. I didn't have the heart to put her down, and I thought I could instead find a family that would adopt her. And so my husband made an ad on Craigslist and found what we thought was a really nice couple. They said they were retired. They would have all the time in the world for Louise.
Retired from the animal abuse registry temporarily. Yep.
Apparently.
Yep.
But made us to believe that it would be a good home that she could go to, and that was obviously not the case. From what I found out today, Louise was living on the streets, being passed around to different people, potentially passed around for drugs and who knows what else.
Who actually did take care of her. Hang on to that slip lead now. Keep a good grip on that slip lead. She's been loose, and that's the first leash she's been on all week, I guarantee you.
Louise.
Because Summer put it on her. Go ahead.
So, I had no idea that this would be how it's been a week that she's been with these other people. And I just had no idea that this is what the reality was, and it's a harsh reality. And it's definitely a good warning for people out there. As you suggested, if you're ever needing to give your dog away for whatever reason, a home visit, meeting them, vetting them, making sure that they are good people.
Checking with the vet that they say they have to make sure that they take care of their own dogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is a cautionary tale for you guys out there. But, this one turned out well. We have our dog back, and she's in good hands again.
And you are going to do everything you can to keep her safe and the kids safe.
Mm-hmm.
Separation. They're little, they're little kids, and they do unexpected things, and they weren't terrible bites.
Right.
Thank God.
Yeah.
It can be a lot worse.
Yeah.
But seriously, the issue is always.
I've got her.
I'm going to bring this around
Okay.
here to you so you got her. The issue is always just separation, keeping the dog safe from the kids from the dog, and updating that microchip, because thank God we were able to get hold of somebody who was on the microchip from days gone by, and he put us in touch with you, so I'm grateful for that.
Yes.
But thank you for being willing to share the story, because that's really important, and this is a huge education. And if anybody from Suzanne or Gary on Craigslist is ever somebody you're considering giving a dog to, don't do it, because I've already reported them to Lieutenant Coroner at LMAS, who has a Jones in for these folks, like I do. They just wreak so much havoc. And, there are lots of unhoused citizens, and I'm going to offer this caveat, that take excellent care of their dogs and love their dogs and rely on us to help them with supplies, but they love them, they care for them, they keep them safe. And then there's a whole other part of the community that, unhoused or not unhoused, doesn't have the dog's best interests at heart.
Mm-hmm.
And she is a little sweetheart. She liked that chicken that the Lee's lady brought out, because we met up here at Lee's Fried Chicken on Brownsboro Road as a halfway mark from their house to where we were downtown. And she liked the chicken. She's filthy. She's wearing a torn children's t-shirt.
We're going to take her home and give her a nice bath.
She's very confused right now, as you would expect, but she did recognize both her parents, and she's going to need some decompression time to just sleep, because I bet she's been walking a lot. You might want to check her feet, check her toes, you know, and maybe run her to the vet. Just have a checkup, make sure, because she's probably eating crap all week.
Yeah.
Because that's unfortunately what unhoused dogs survive on. So you're a good girl. Yes, you are. You're a very pretty girl. So thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank you for being positive, and thank you for being willing and open to actually, you know, explain the situation and use it as a cautionary tale, because a lot of people don't know. They think, oh, I can just rehome my dog on social media with no problem. Everybody loves dogs. No, there's a lot of people who don't.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who take advantage of you. And they actually got you guys to buy them some shit, too.
They did.
Which really infuriates me. So you got taken in more than one way, and you gave all of her stuff away. So off to Feeder's Supply you go.
Yep.
God bless you.
Well, thank you for bringing her back to us.
Oh, Charity and I are Charity! Hi! Charity has to drive Miss Daisy because I don't drive after dark anymore. So she whipped me down to the Omni. We saw the dog on the sidewalk. I jumped out in the middle of the street with the car still rolling.
Wow.
And had that slip lead on her so fast, she was like, who is this? So, and the poor guy who had her was just befuddled. He's like, a lady just came up and handed her to me. So, Summer Dickerson, you made another big win. I'm so glad I gave you that scanner and that slip lead. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, they're off and on to their home, and God bless you, little girl, Louise. I wish you the best. Thank you.
Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Bye-bye,
Not the
sweetheart.
best circumstances, but
It all works out for the best. Yep. So you can see why I reran this, because it is so important to understand how many predators are actually out there. And if you don't do the work, if you don't do the legwork to find out where your dog is going, this dog would have been dead within a few days, I guarantee you. And I suggested to the family that they actually get the dog to the vet and have genital exams performed, because dogs are used for bestiality, which is a horrible thought. And a lot of people don't even know that that's a thing. But we only outlawed it in Kentucky 6 or 7 years ago, maybe, which brought us from the bottom of the pile up to 47th for a while, just because we outlawed sex with animals. And there's still 3 or 4 states that don't have any law on the books, which is frightening. So that's why I posted the first 2 live streams last night, and that's why I'm restreaming the combo to my main Facebook page, to my YouTube, and to Real-Time Animal Rescue. So excuse the language. I know some people have issues with that, and on other platforms, you know, it's not as understood and accepted because you guys hear me swearing about things all the time. But these people are plagues on the earth, and they're not the only ones out there. It makes it especially complicated when there are so many strays that typically Louisville Metro Animal Services doesn't take owner surrenders. This was a Kentucky Humane Society dog that was adopted nearly 8 years ago. Normally they are super good about taking their dogs back, but with the reported bites, they told the family if we take her back, she's going to have to be euthanized, which in some cases is actually the kindest, most humane alternative, because it typically means a dog is suffering. However, this family explained to me that part of the major part of the reason that the dog snapped was because a little tiny kid was pulling the dog's tail. A little tiny kid was interfering with the dog's food. You know, this dog belonged to adults for a long time and was the sole, you know, center of attention. And then the children were born, the human children were born, and it changed the dynamic in the household. It changed the pack structure, so to speak. So that's a really important consideration. When you have dogs and you have children, one or the other, you got to think about how the pack structure changes when you have a child come into the house or a new dog come into the house. That decompression time, that separation time, training, which is super important. And this dog did get some training about 4 years ago. And the family said, we didn't really follow up on it, because the training is for the humans. It's not really for the dogs. And we have to practice it. We have to put in, 5-10 minutes of training a day just to refresh the dog's memory about what those things mean. So I'm just super happy that this family was willing to take this dog back. Super happy. And that they were glad to see the dog, and the dog was glad to see them, although exhausted and confused. You could just tell. It takes them a few minutes to do that reset, just like it does with lost dogs when we say, your dog might not recognize you, and people are like, oh, no, it's going to know me. And then it's like, until the dog can smell their people and get acclimated. And right now, that dog is so confused because she was taken from her environment, her home, her people of nearly 8 years by strangers who immediately started passing her around. Somehow they got something out of her from the first person and the second person. And who knows how many people have had her in the last week. And she ended up on the street in front of Christ Church Cathedral, on the ground, lying on a guy's chest who was virtually passed out, with people driving by. And the scariest part was Summer was doing her outreach, and she literally had to keep moving, and she was serving all around and keeping an eye on the situation, but she didn't have direct eyes on him for a few minutes. And after I'd gotten hold of the owners, she said the guy moved, and I called Charity. She raced over here. I jumped in the car, and Batman and Robin sped downtown, and I literally leapt out of the car as it was rolling when I saw the dog. And he was on the ground at that point. So it was so scary to think of what could have happened to this baby girl. And somebody outside, if a dog performs the same kind of offense outside in the streets, that can result very quickly in the dog being beaten, shot, stabbed, all kinds of things. So this was divine intervention on many levels to get this dog back safely home. So I really, really appreciate the family. I appreciate them being willing to go on and talk about the experience, because too often people are like, oh, I don't want to do that. They were really fair. They said, we made a terrible mistake. We feel awful, and we want to make this right. So I'm praying that they will be able to segregate the kids and the dog until the dog can get calmed down, decompressed, back to normal, and that maybe they will consider the continuation of training, which is, God, it's the best thing in the world, to keep a dog safe. So I love you guys. I hope you have a great day, and I really wanted to share this all with you again. Please share it live and share it everywhere, because these people who operate in the bowels of the free dog sites, who are constantly hunted by many people who want to get them blocked, they want to cut off the access to their victims, and they want to report them. And believe me, I wrote out a full witness statement and sent it in, talked to LMAS last night several times, sent a tremendous amount of information. They've already followed up with the owners. They've already gotten all the screenshots of the conversation with Suzanne, and they are doing their job right now, which is what they need to do. So hopefully it will result in some significant charges and placement back on the animal abuse registry where they belong, where so many people belong who never get put there. So much injustice. I love you, Summer. I wish I knew how to add you to this live stream so you could tell your share of the story, but you may not even want to do it right now. I didn't even think about it. I should have called you and asked you how we could add you, because that would be fun. But thank you. 2 dogs. And salvaging several others, because when you found the dog the other day, okay, let me see. How do I do that? I don't even know how to do that, babe. Let me see if I can just invite you. Invite guest. Maybe I can do this through Messenger. And let me see. Ooh, maybe I can. Maybe I actually can do this. Hang on. This might be easier than I thought. Summer Dickerson. There you are. Ooh, this will be fun. Hang on, guys. Don't go away, because if Summer can get on here with me, this will be fun to actually have her pop up. And if she can't, it's okay. Thank you, Rena. I'll teach you. You teach me every day, sis. I swear to God, I don't know what I'd do without you. You're my ride or die. If we could add you here, I'd love to have you comment on, what I've been talking about and more, because you are out on the streets all the time, serving the unhoused, serving the folks who are suffering from domestic violence and, human trafficking and everything, missing children, missing adults, everything else. And it's really terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying how many people cannot possibly get, what they need. I'm going to try that again, just in case you didn't get it, okay? I'm going to send you that one more time. Nobody knows how dark the world actually is unless they live in it. And that's where we run into trouble, because people think, oh, I can just put my dog out there and some nice family appears to be nice on paper. Yes, I will take the dog. Yes, I'm interested. Do you have any pictures? Oh, we're a lovely retired couple who have all kinds of time to spend with the dog. And, they're really not. They're really crappy people. Absolutely crappy people who want to use that dog for whatever nefarious purposes they can imagine. Oh, yay. Add to stage. Here she is. Ladies and gentlemen, Summer Dickerson.
What's up, beautiful?
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I just woke up. That's why I'm not on a screen, because I'm still in bed.
As you were on the streets very late.
Yes, last night was it was crazy from the beginning, and one thing I'll say is, like, when we walked up and I see the gentleman with the dog. What was crazy is we actually got to help both situations.
Right.
We were very, very lucky. This gentleman seemed like he was a very caring person. You know what I mean? And there was a lot of craziness going on the streets last night. So unfortunately, and normally I would be like, all right, I got to stay with the dog until Tara gets here. You know what I mean? But there was so many emergencies in that small little area. It was hard to, move around. But
and thank you
what was really
on so that he could hold the dog, and he knew that he was going to expect somebody to come and get it, which was fantastic.
Yes. And we were able, he was actually dropped. It's kind of crazy that, and I believe you. This is definitely bigger than all of us planned, because he just got dropped in Louisville 2 days ago. The gentleman did, and so he was from a small little country town, and so he was just telling me his story, and I just felt overwhelmed to like help both of them. Yeah. And so I called you for the dog, and thank goodness I was so scared, because when I went back to go check in on him, the dog was gone, and he's like, some lady came, and I was like, what? Some lady came? I was like, oh fuck, I gotta call Tara Passett and tell her I dropped the dog. Jesus, please fix it. Yeah, well, and then I called you, like I was calling my mom, and I got in trouble or some shit. I was like, Tara, and you're like, I got the dog. I was like, oh my God, thank you. I'm gonna have a fucking stroke, because I was ready to go, because I'm like, which way did the lady go? I was like, that's it, I'm chasing her. I was like, I'm gonna go find this fucking dog before I have to call Tara and tell her I done lost the dog again. So it was that fun part is all on my live stream too, because of course I'm live every Wednesday night. But But it was, so I came back and obviously found out you had the dog, and then found out who had the dogs. And I was just like, dude, I was like, basically, these people traffic dogs. I was like, this is, in some sense. Um, that's how I felt like. I felt like we were in a rescue for a trafficking victim or something, or a missing person or
Absolutely.
something. It was
Absolutely.
little, little crazy. But on the plus side of it, the gentleman, when I, went back and seen, and I talked to him some more, and I was just like, I just felt really led to buy, ask people to buy him a Greyhound ticket and get him the hell out of the city, because we know how
Good.
dangerous Louisville is.
Yep.
And so, my people on my live stream put the money together. I put him in my car. I took him to Greyhound bus station. I said, get the hell out of the city before you end up dead, because he's from an itty bitty little town in bumfuck Egypt. And I don't know, I just felt really led to make sure he got back home. So not only did we get the animal home last night, but me and Sarah sat in Greyhound last night, and he is home. So it was a crazy night, and it's crazy how things like that, and you don't even know. You don't know from one situation to another. You never know what you're going to walk into. We've walked into some crazy stuff. But last night ended up, it was all crazy at first, but it ended up really good. We got an animal home, and we got a person home,
You
and
did.
so it was good.
I'm going to just put this up to the screen so you can see it. That's
Oh, I think
his
it's a
mom.
baby.
She got a bath, and she got
Oh,
bed
good.
with her parents, and she said, and this is where she should have always been and will stay. So
That's
that's
good. That makes my heart happy. And I get being overwhelmed, right? Because God knows how many times have I been overwhelmed, even with my cats when they were having 5 billion
oh
freaking
God.
kittens when we were protesting. Every
Yep.
time she would get pregnant, and then I'd come home and I'm like, I think the cat's pregnant. She's going in labor. And like I found out as she was going in labor because we were all protesting, so I didn't know what was going on. And Tara's like, Summer, and I'm like, I'm trying, please help me. So finally, Tara stepped in and helped me get them all fixed and get them to
Thank
good homes. And
thank
thank
God
God. 'Cause I
for
was like,
Rebecca.
Kat, what are you trying to be like me? You want to have 10 kids? What's going on here?
Thank God for Rebecca Akins of Spay Anyway, who was the major catalyst for well, I was the major catalyst, but she was the one who carried it to fruition, and she got those cats taken care of. So you stopped having extra babies, and they were all beautiful. And thank God for you. You care enough to be able to actually get them good homes, which you did. But
Yes.
stopping the replication of these animals right now is just such a huge thing, and not having more unwanted animals that don't have anywhere to go coming into the world. But one of the worst parts of this whole situation, and Summer knows this well. So this woman, Suzanne, used to be married to a guy
Yeah.
named Gary Wall. We think he's gone. We think he's dead. We're not sure. I haven't gotten confirmation. But she's found another Gary who appears to have the same last name as she does now, which is Bryant. But she's gone by Susanna Wall. She's gone by Suzanne Myers. She's gone by Suzanne Bryant. She's got all these profiles. And she stalks the pages, especially the free pet sites, which is why you should never, ever offer your pet for free. There should always be a rehoming fee. There should always be a home visit. There should always be a vet checking with the people's vet with their permission to say, hey, I'm about to give these people my dog. How are they with theirs? Do they keep them up with their vaccinations? Do they care for them? Blah, blah, blah. But this woman is so cunning, and she's so strategic, and she knows the way around. I mean, for being as cruel and inhumane as she is cagey as the dickens. So she finds people who are desperate. Maybe the dog's bitten somebody, maybe they've moved, maybe they're being transferred, whatever. And she says, oh, I can take the dog, I'll give it a good home, blah, blah, blah. And then ends up getting them to give them food and crates and a bed and, all of their gear. And she convinced these people, she kept asking in the text messages, is she a service dog? Has she had any
Right.
training? So she can use those things to make the dog appear more valuable.
Right.
And of course it wasn't. But
You know what's crazy is how me. I'm a trafficking survivor, right? For those that don't know. And so as Tara's sitting here and she's talking just now, right? And we kind of had this discussion already. it reminds me of a trafficker. And I'm going to say that again because like you're talking about the grooming stage, you're talking about the manipulating stage, you're talking about so many different things, right? And so as a survivor of human trafficking, I can't help but my flares inside of me go right, like warning sign, you know. And it's sad because anything can be trafficked. You know what I mean? And I will continue to say that this lady is an you know she's an animal trafficker,
Yep,
like because she's putting these
absolutely.
poor animals in situations. And you know me, I don't care if you're an animal, I don't care if you're a person, like if you're something's not right. And when I got up on the scene, I looked at and same thing with the 16 or whatever friggin' mini dogs those were. And I
That
got the
was
first one
38, Summer.
38,
38.
38. I'm sorry, Jesus, 38 dogs, dude, y'all, that was so crazy.
It was crazy.
I come out because I'm like, I hear all of our street family, you know, commotioning and stuff, and I come out and there's this really nice dog, and I was like, yeah, no,
Thank
this is
God.
not right. You know what I mean? I was like, this is a husky, and she's not. You can tell that she's not a street dog. I'm on the streets. I've been doing the work for 10 years. I'm from the streets, so I know, you know. And I was like, nah, this dog's not, you know. And same thing last night. We pulled up and she was so friendly, and Laura and Glenda and all of us were like, you know, playing with her and giving her water and food and stuff like that while I was calling you. And I just instantly knew that yeah, this dog's not a street dog, you know. And I know what can happen. Those dogs can be used for drugs. Those dogs can be used for violence. Those dogs can be used for anything, you know. So I was just like, nah, dude, we're not doing this today. I was like, I was like, Sarah. And then it was so funny because I look at Sarah and I was like, Sarah, you ain't gotta go home early. She said, girl, please, we're on these streets tonight. I was like, okay, good. I was like, because I knew it was going to be a very, very, very long night. But I was just again, shout out to Tara and her people, because that was complete teamwork last night of craziness. And usually, like I said, I normally wouldn't leave a situation, but I kind of didn't have a choice. There was just so many crazy situations and things going on last night. But we were in the same vicinity, so that was good.
Well,
And I
I saw
mean,
the cherries and berries going as we rolled up, so I knew some shit was happening at the gas station at the corner.
yeah, there was a lot going on last night.
Which
There
is
was a
where
couple
I figured
fights
you
and a
were.
stabbing and
Yeah.
so
But
in the midst of all that, we made sure that puppy was safe and she got home. So I'm
well,
happy.
and here's the key. Literally, I want to just thank my girl Charity Batman Mills, who always is my mission control operator at night because I don't drive in the dark anymore. And she was here within. She lives just about a mile from me. She was here within seconds. We roared down there. I literally bailed out like Robin from the Batmobile as we were rolling because I saw the dog right where you told me, and thank God you told me exactly where the what the dog was when you last saw them. And I rolled up, I saw the dog, and I was like, "There's the dog." Got my slip lead around my neck. I'm bailing out of the car. She's trying to stop. I'm running across traffic. There's cherries and berries, and I see you guys down there everywhere. I mean, it was chaos.
Yeah, it was
And
chaos last night.
and I literally just walked right up. She looked at me. I put the slip lead over her neck. The guy kind of came to for a minute because he was out of it.
Yeah,
And he said, "I'm trying to get on the bus. I'm trying to get back." And I said, "I wish that I could help you, but the street team that's down here is going to try to be able to help you do what you need to do." And I said, "Thank you so much for saving this dog's life." And he goes, "I just don't know what happened. This lady just handed him to me all of a sudden." And I
yeah,
said, "It's a she, and she's going home to her family." So I'm forever grateful to you for all the work you do. And I want to just give you a chance to remind people winter is coming. Now is the time to start thinking about if you want to get rid of warm winter clothes that are in
yes,
good repair and clean. The street teams, the outreach teams really need those because keeping people alive on the streets, especially in extreme weather, is very, very difficult. So make your pitch, Summer.
yeah. So if you guys have any kind of winter stuff that you have, blankets, jackets, clothes, socks, anything like that, that's in decent condition, um, please, I'm asking you all to. You can even reach out to Tara. She'll connect us.
Yep.
But because in the winter time, we deal with two extreme things. We deal with extreme heat, which people die from heat exhaustions and different things like that. And now we're switching over and we're going to go into extreme cold. And I can promise you, the summers and the winters are both getting worse. I'm
Yeah.
out on these streets every single day, just about. I don't care if it's 10 below, if it's 101, we're out there. And so in the wintertime, I can't tell you how many times I have had to sit in hospitals and take our people because they've had frostbite or different things like that. And when we're equipped with the clothes and the blankets and the sternos and stuff like that, and the hand warmers and stuff like that, we're able to keep people alive. And because there's an and there, we're
Always.
able to let them keep their fingers and their toes, right? Because we're able to keep them safe together. So if anybody wants to donate,
I'm putting
you're more
your
than welcome to donate. We need it. I am a nonprofit, just FYI. I forgot to sign up for whatever it is, Thursday, Tuesday, but
Give for Good. I wish you had. It's just phenomenal. I just put your donation link up, sweetie, so people will be able to.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then if anybody wants to support the outreach teams that are volunteers, they are
we don't get paid.
They are not subsidized, and they are not associated with the city. This is a completely volunteer effort of volunteers who have literally been on the streets for years, know them better than anyone, treat humans and animals with dignity and respect and love more than anything, and meet them where they need to be, meet them where they are, not tell them where they need to go.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and it's important, and even speaking of the dogs and stuff on the street, you got big hoodies and stuff like that. I mean, that helps us keep them warm too, because there are animals that are not, being forced onto people and taken from other people, and whatever. Some people have been given animals, and they have they're their babies, and so we got to keep them good too. So you know what I mean, and.
Yeah.
And again, Tara's not one to take compliments, but I'm going to shout out her and her team again because, we always say she helps the 4-legged, I help the 2-legged. Even though here lately our paths have definitely been crossing over, I'm like, look, I am not a dog rescuer, okay? I love animals, don't get me wrong, but that is Tara's lane. She is good at what she does, but it just seems like here lately it's like, this is not right. This dog does not seem like it needs to be in this situation.
Yeah,
and she's equipped me with something that all of you all need to get. A chip reader, because it's super duper easy, and like you can even do it without really anybody knowing what you're doing, because it's just such a quick slide over their shoulder. And then when that code pops up, then hey, she belongs to somebody.
Yeah, and that's the point of absolute intercession is required. You find a microchip dog and it's not with its owner. That's when somebody has to intercede, and I will do that. So if you guys want to participate in the solution, one of my friends in Southern Indiana, whose name is Jinbug, has an absolutely phenomenal DIY microchip scanner station that she built for, I don't know, about $30 for the scanner, $20 for the scanner, $60 for the box. And she put the scanner in the box, mounted it to a pole, and put it in several locations in Clarksville where people can literally walk up and scan the dog, which makes it so much easier. And it really is effective because people can get the microchip, they can call the company, and they explain on the little laminated sheet, here's the steps that you have to go through. It takes about 5-10 minutes. And you get that dog home, or at least get in touch with the owners and keep the dog secure for a little while, or have the option then of taking it to the shelter and saying, hey, this dog has a microchip. Do you have any further information that could help get it home? So that is and I'm going to share her pinned post as well, because she did this in such a clever fashion, and she is a very clever person. She put this microchip scanner together, printed out all the instructions for the DIY, and really made an impression on me, and I hope will make an impression on someone else to take up this torch and actually start creating some of these in the higher population loose dog areas of Louisville.
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking of like someone that's on the streets constantly, right? I'm like, wow, that's amazing, dude. Shout out to her for that. Like, really, that's beautiful that she did that.
She's the one who has the wolf dog that I went and saw yesterday. I did my live about the wolf dog.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and she's married to Ron Whitehead. Her partner, I should say, is Ron Whitehead, the poet who we last heard at the No Kings protest, who does amazing writing.
Yeah, he's great. He's a good speaker too. He's a good writer and speaker.
Oh my gosh. So it's just, it does take a village, you guys. And when you stop and think about every person along the way who had to be involved for this one animal, it's just overwhelming. And that's why we ask people, step up, Don't expect the same half a dozen people to always do everything and always do all the work, and demand that your city agencies actually step up and do the work that they're supposed to do, and do it with dignity and respect and concern for the population they're serving. And I'm definitely shouting out my awesome friends on the volunteer outreach teams to the unhoused, who serve the companion animals of the pets as well, including My Dog Eats First and the Forgotten Louisville and Street Reach, which is Daryl Glass and Jacob's Ladder, and name them, Summer, any of them. They're all out there doing amazing.
Forgotten Louisville, Feed Louisville. I mean, Hip Hop Cares, like you name it, there's tons of them, and some of the ones that we're naming have been around for a very long time. You know what I mean? And we are, like she said, volunteer based, and we just have to. We have to keep people safe. We have to keep animals safe. We don't. I always say, like, I'm not. Everybody's like, "Oh, Summer, what are you going to do? Change the world?" No, but I'm going to change somebody's world, right?
Yeah.
And if we have that mentality that we could change somebody's world, then that's how the world gets changed. And animals matter. They matter just as much. And animals are. And I'm going to take this plug real quick. Animals are used a lot again. I'm going to say this again. They're used a lot again in abuse situations. And so we have the street stuff going on. We have domestic violence people that abuse animals to just get at their partners and stuff.
Yep.
I mean, there's so many different reasons. So it takes all of us to be able to keep these babies safe, because I mean, like, animals are people's kids, and that's the thing for me, right? So when I won't roll up on a dog and I can clearly feel, or an animal, whatever, and clearly feel in my discernment that this baby's not supposed to be here. Dogs are people's kids. You know what I mean? And when my child went missing, my life was turned upside down. Yep. So I think about that, right? Like when my daughter went missing a long time ago, she's found, safe, grown, and doing amazing, by the way, for the clip notes. But when that happened, it was worse than knowing if your child was alive or dead, because you did not know where your child was. And I feel that I would feel the same way if that was my pet, because your pet is your child. You know what I mean? I look at you and Ellie, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, yeah, no, we can't do that. We have to get this baby back home. And, I look for missing people on top of everything else. Yep. So, I guess we're going to add missing animals to the list too, because they keep falling in my lap.
Absolutely. And I am so grateful that you are taking the time to do it. And, we have, you just mentioned so many of the people who are doing the outreach have been in this for a long time. So many of the people who've been working on animal issues have been in it for decades. I am going to
because I've been doing this work. I've been out of everything and turned my life around, going on 11 years in January. The people I work with have been doing this and started this shit. Like Miss Glenda, she's been doing this 20 plus years. You know what I mean? She started our route and everything. And we've been serving that route faithfully for 20 friggin' years. You know what I mean? And it will continue. It will go, and it will continue to go as long as we have people that care.
That's key about that is that I'm going to be 66 in a month. And a lot of us are starting to get older. And a lot of us are not quite as able to go over a 7-foot fence to get a dog, or to, lift the things that need to be carried when the service is necessary. So that's a huge out call for younger people, literally the next gen, to pick up that torch and carry it, because it's got to continue. Any one of us can die at any moment. There's no question. One of us could just drop dead in the street. One of us could get hit by a bus. One of us could, be disabled, whatever. And then all of the work that we do has to be picked up by someone else if that is to be continued. So I just encourage and I implore anyone who has a heart for service of any kind, join the teams that already exist and know what's going on. You don't have to start your own thing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Please don't reinvent the wheel. It is already out there and it's being done good. And people kill me with that, right? Because they're just like, oh, Jesus or whoever told me to come and do something. It's like, okay, that's cool. Me and Jesus was cool too. And I talked to him too. And you know what he told me is tell you to stop reinventing the damn wheel. Like, we got shit that works. Okay? Like, get it together, people. We do not have to reinvent the wheel. It's there. Jesus will be okay if you partner, because, that's a thing too. Like, if something's working, you don't have to feel like, well, Jesus woke me up out of the middle of my sleep and told me to go and love on some people. Okay, cool. I'm with that, because I talked to Jesus too. But guess what? Jesus also says something along, you know what I'm saying? You can give somebody fish and they'll fish for a day, or you can teach them how to fish and they'll fish for life. Right. And so it's the same shit. Like you come get taught, and then you can do it the right way too. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, I haven't said that quote in forever. Okay, Jesus, I see you.
I love it. That's awesome. So I just thought I'd share a little quick pic here of your girl. This is your niece.
There's my baby. Hey, are you going to be at Hannah's thing tonight?
I am. I'm going, and I was just going to mention that. If you are feeling the need for primal scream therapy to get out all your frustrations and really make a lot of noise, tonight is the night, 6 p.m., 10th and Riverfront. It's at the Unknown Project site. So it's literally, if you go to 10th Street off of Main, hang a right, go underneath the expressway at 64, and you will see the Unknown Project site. There will be drumming. There will be screaming. There will be speaking. There will be all kinds of extraordinary activity. And yes, I will be there, and I will be live. And I know you.
And I will be there too. So bring your bums, and bring your bums, and bring your bums. Let's go have some fun. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be there. Hannah, when she first talked about it, she reached out to me, and I was like, most definitely, girl. Like, Hannah, first of all, is fucking amazing. Okay, and like anytime this woman, she's such a powerhouse, and like I fangirl over her every day. But anytime I ask this woman to please come and speak, and it doesn't matter if I'm having a big event or I'm having a little event, she shows up. So I'm honored to be able to go and support her today and what she does, because it's amazing. Actually, we used to set up down there for outreach. And I live stream. We live stream everything. So I always walked over there, and I would clean the area up, and I would just show people, because a lot of people didn't even know it was down there. And I'm just like, oh, dude, you've got to get out of your element, baby. Come hang out with us. We'll show you some things, guys.
Get out of your bubble. And the Unknown Project, for those who don't know, is literally a commemoration of enslaved people in Kentucky, which was a slave state, looking across the river to Indiana, where freedom existed. And not a lot of people made it across the river, unfortunately, as they were trying to escape to freedom. So they have imprinted their footprints in the concrete, and they've also put the footprints of the elders, a lot of the leaders of the community, into the concrete, which was also a beautiful ceremony last year. And I just encourage people, and there's so many other aspects to this. I mean, it's just a developing and growing project that Josh Miller and Hannah Drake have done together, and in an amazing collaboration. And I love them both, and I love their creativity and their imagination. And I also just want to remind everybody that the Give for Good today, which is just a phenomenal effort of the Community Foundation of Louisville, is so important. Pay attention. You're going to get your emails bombarded. You're going to get text messages. You're going to get messengers in your mailbox. You don't have to contribute to everyone, but pick one nonprofit that you support, that speaks to you and that resonates with you, and support, because the Community Foundation is phenomenal. And we have, God, I think 1,000 nonprofits in Louisville that all need.
Yeah, we have a lot.
And those who didn't participate in Give for Good, I went ahead and put Summer's information up here, even though she is a 501c3. She, does.
I missed the cutoff point because I was so busy. That's the thing. Sometimes what happens is, because I'm so active on the streets, by the time I figure out it's sign up time and it's this and this, and I'm like, oh shit, so my bad, guys.
This is what happens. Fundraising is a necessary evil, and it's the last priority, because the actual job in front of you is so extraordinary, So
it sucks, because it happens to a lot of us, especially a lot of the people that nonprofits that are out there that are boots on the ground. In the last month, we have moved 4 women with 2+ children off the street. You know what I mean? We've had a couple men that was hurt really bad that we moved off the streets and stuff. So it's just, when you're dealing with stuff like that, and we've dealt with small, and I mean small children, small babies. So when you're dealing with that, signing up for fundraising is not really the priority of your life. So I apologize for everybody. It's like, well, Summer, why didn't you sign up? Well, I'm sorry, babe. I'm a little busy.
But you can still donate to the cause. So I will see you
can still support.
Just before 6. I encourage everybody to come to the Unknown Project at 10th and the Riverfront tonight. It's just under the 64 overpass. So
Yep.
come down 10th Street, Main to 10th, and turn and come down there and park. There's plenty of parking. We'll all be there. We will make it a safe and happy environment. It will still be light, and it's going to be beautiful. So come and join tonight. Thank you, Summer. Love you.
Love you. Everybody, make sure you like and subscribe and share the live and clip, chip, and
snip, chip, tag, contain.
Snip, chip, and clip. That's right. Snip, chip, and clip.
So snipping means neutering. Microchip is chipping. Tagging is putting a visible number on the dog, so it will be able to be identified if you don't have a chip scanner. And then contain. That's
what the word. That's the other word I was looking for. You always say contain. I have a TBI, people, so I just forget stuff sometimes. Sorry. Like,
have a good rest of the afternoon, and I'll see you tonight. And thanks to everybody. We appreciate you.
See you later. Holler.